April Bess. I just went through all of your menu designs, evaluations, and I have to say that I'm really impressed by what I saw, so I'm excited to see all of your ideas coming together. I also saw some things that I think need to be talked about in this video, give you some extra information, because I saw a lot of you who were struggling maybe with alignment, as well as maybe you don't know how to use the tabs, so I wanted to kind of give you some tips on that if I gave comments to you about utilizing tabs and aligning your price points a little bit better. So I'm just showing you a blank 8.5 by 11 page. Now just remember there was no specific size to your menu, so it was just for you to kind of decide what was best for the actual brand. So, you know, making it an appropriate size, not too small, not too big, but you definitely could do something more interesting rather than just an 8.5 by 11 page. But I'm just going to do this for purposes of just showing you really quickly some examples that I wanted to bring up about what I saw so far in your submission. So I'm just going to fill this with black, and I'm going to pretend like this is the inside page because I wanted to talk about tabs. And I'm just going to take a type box out. I'm going to draw this out, and I'm going to put red wine, white wine. Can't see it. I'm going to set this as white so I can see. So pretend like these are your categories, maybe your menu items. Let's see, let's just keep it very simple. And I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so let's say you have, and this could be your food too, it doesn't have to be just your, you know, if you have a wine list or drinks or whatever. Next to your red wine, you could say, you know, I'm going to put description goes here, and then I'm going to put the price point. And you can do this in several ways. And I would really suggest you go and look at menus that are kind of similar to the brand that you're working on so that you can see different ways in which how people kind of lay out the type so that you can kind of choose and be inspired by what you see. Okay, so I have red wine, the description, and maybe, you know, you treat this in a different way where this is maybe more bold and condensed and maybe a little bigger type point size wise. Bold condensed, let's do 12. Bold condensed, let's do 12. And then the description is smaller, maybe that's italicized. And maybe it's like 10-point type. Now I'm just going to copy and paste that. I should have did that in the beginning. So you set up, you know, just a hierarchy here, and whoops. And it adds a little bit dimension as well to your menu items. Okay, let me delete these out. All right, so once you get all of your information in there, go ahead and take your type tool and select all. Do a Command A, or just click and drag over, double click, and go up to type on your menu bar and choose tabs. Now this long gray box will appear. This is your tabs panel, and you have different options. You can use the left justified tab, and this will align everything, you know, kind of justified left. Centered will center align your items. Right justified, again, that'll kind of come over here on the right side. It'll align it all to the right, and then align to decimal. This is your ruler, and whatever you decide to use, so let's say we're going to do right justified for your price points. Let's select the right justified tab, and we're going to set it, and you can set it anywhere on here. Just click one time and you can move it around. You can set it at any point here. So if you have, say, a short column, you might want to pull it here. If you want it to be real long, you might pull it way over here. When you want to go back, you just kind of pull this over here. There we go. So let's do a short column. I'm going to do it to 3 or maybe even 4. Let's set it at 4 here. You can type it in 4 here. And then we want to make sure we also left align our description because we want that all to align. So let's set that in here. So I'm going to set that probably right about 1.5. Oops. You can just click right there. And you can edit these. You can delete them. You can add them on. You can always go back and change them. Okay. With this tab selected, I'm going to click where it says leader. If you want those little dots to appear, you can put a period here where it says leader. So when you're ready, all you need to do is click right in front of red wine, or right after red wine, and hit your tab, and then right before 8 and hit your tab. So if you have them set correctly, it will kind of aligned as you see here. Okay, of course these would be different pages or you know, maybe different, oh, I set this wrong, different price points here. And I set this wrong, so I'll show you how to edit it. So I'm going to select all. This should be right aligned, so I'm going to hit right aligned. And that'll just kind of nicely align your price points so that they're not, you know, they're right up against that edge. And you can adjust these. Let's say you kind of want to pull these in a little bit. You can definitely pull this in. Oops. Of course, it's not going to do it right. There we go. You might need to pull these as you go here. Select and pull these in. I have to do a select all. That's probably what's going on there. And then again, you can adjust these. You can pull these in too. Okay. So I saw a lot of people kind of, you know, doing where they do like a return and it's, you know, the price point is below and it's not really aligned. This will really organize your information a little bit better so it's easier to read. You don't have to do the leaders, you know, the periods here. You know, you can leave that blank if you want. Just click on the little arrow that you put the period in. Just get rid of that if you don't want that. Sometimes, you know, that's cleaner, you know, if you don't want those lines to be in there, especially if you have a very long type box. That's, you know, kind of annoying, so you can kind of, you know, decide on what you want to do there. When you're done, you can always hit this little red X. You can always go back to tabs, say if you need to adjust anything. All you have to do is select it, go back up to type, go to tabs. This box will appear with all of your tabs still here unless you deleted them, and you can adjust it. Okay, so that's kind of how you would do your tabs and your tab alignments and your leaders if you kind of wanted to do that. What else did I see that I wanted? Oh, bleeds. I noticed a lot of you guys didn't set up your bleeds. So if you had set up your bleeds correctly, you would go document setup and see where it says bleed down here. You'd set that at 1/4. Usually they're about 1/4 of an inch and click OK. This will set this little bleed line here, which is red, indicated in red. So whatever you have going on, if you have like a block of color, any type of photograph, it needs to kind of bleed off to that edge, to that red area. When you go to save this as a PDF, you can do smallest file size, that's fine. I'm going to save it as example. Just make sure that you're including your marks and bleeds. So click on marks and bleeds, and you can say all printer marks, but really all you need is bleed marks. So just select that, and everything else should be good. Yeah, you don't even have to really check that. And then click export. And then, let me see if my PDF is showing here. Yeah, so I should be able to see when I open up your file these little crop marks, which are your bleed marks. Okay, so I should have seen that with your submission. That was last mod. Okay, I hope you guys don't mind. I have pulled a few examples because I wanted to share these with you guys. I thought, you know, pulling some of these may be good for you guys to see what other people are doing. So if I'm showing yours, it's a good thing because, you know, I think you guys did a great job. If I'm not showing yours, it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing. I just pulled these because I thought they were great examples to show you guys that, you know, for other people to see what you're doing in a different way to inspire you guys. So great job on the cover here. It looks like you have some other crop marks going on here, but this person did a great job on the cover, keeping it simple yet very cohesive with the brand. Inside was done very nicely, and what I liked about this is they're using the actual tomato in the logo to represent the family servings available here. Now there's always kind of, I mark this up for revisions too, so it's not, there's always room for revising, but I wanted to show you this because this was nicely done. I thought that this was sectioned off very nicely, give you some ideas of maybe something that you can be inspired by going forward. Okay, so that was that example. Here's one that I thought was kind of interesting and neat. I saw a lot of you guys who are doing the town menu that are trying different sizes, and I think the vertical skinnier size is kind of interesting. So very simple cover. Very, aligns really nicely with the brand itself. And look how this student decided to utilize the white space. This is really embracing the white space, which is awesome to see. So, and it aligns with the brand. It's very simplistic, minimalistic, and definitely readable. It's a nice way to show the menu. In the back here, using these nice chopsticks to kind of as a send off here with the web address. So very nice, very elegant, very sleek, modern looking. Here's another example for pasta amore. I thought this was, another good example to show you guys. So obviously some things going on here with alignment that need to be adjusted, but the student is definitely utilizing, the price points in a way where it's easier to read. It's not just all lumped together. So definitely very contrasted. You can read it. It's readable. Oh, I have my comments on there. Sorry. And then here's one more example here. Cover. What I liked about this one too is the alignments. They're using the tabs and the leaders here. I definitely can tell that this student is using that alignment, the tabs and the leaders that I was just showing you. Consistency can be a little better, but obviously we can push it forward, and I'm giving you guys some, trying to push you guys forward to make it more effective. But all very good examples to be inspired by. So hopefully you guys can take this information and evolve your menus going forward. All right, I hope this helped.